I've never believed in the paranormal. No ghosts, no demons, no sleep paralysis monsters. Until last winter. That's when everything changed. It started on a Tuesday night. I remember because I had work early the next morning and I went to bed right at 11. I'm a light sleeper, so I always turn off my phone, black out my room, and put a towel under the door to block light. But that night, something felt different. Around 3:12 a.m., I woke up with this overwhelming feeling of being watched. Not just stared at, watched, like something was close, too close. My eyes were still adjusting to the dark when I heard the sound of soft breathing. At first, I thought maybe it was coming from outside, but then I realized it was coming from inside my room. I didn't move, didn't make a sound. I just kept my eyes half shut, pretending to still be asleep. And then I felt it. The mattress shifted. Something or someone had climbed into bed behind me. At this point, I was fully awake, heart racing, breath held. I thought maybe I was dreaming, but then I felt a cold finger run across my neck. That's when I turned around. But there was nothing. No one. The room was dark, silent, empty. I convinced myself it was sleep paralysis or some twisted dream, until the next night, when it happened again. This time, I decided to sleep with my phone on and use the front camera as a mirror, angled toward the foot of my bed, just in case. At 3 a.m. sharp, I opened my eyes, and I froze. Standing at the edge of my bed were three figures, shadowy, pale, expressionless. One of them slowly tilted its head, almost curious. Then, one by one, they crawled into my bed. I couldn't move, couldn't scream. One leaned in inches from my face, its mouth stretched into a smile, its teeth too many, too sharp. That was the last thing I remember before blacking out. When I woke up the next morning, I was drenched in sweat. My bed sheets were torn. And my phone? The camera app was still open, frozen, and the screen was cracked like it had been slammed face down. Still, I didn't tell anyone. Who would believe me? Instead, I did what any scared idiot would do. I set up a camera on a tripod facing my bed and let it record all night. The next morning, I watched the footage. Most of it was normal, until around 3:13 a.m. That's when the door creaked open on its own, even though I always keep it locked. And then, one by one, they appeared. 3 of them, just like before. But this time, something was different. They didn't just crawl into bed. They stood behind me, staring, their eyes glowing faintly in the dark, and their faces stretched and contorted in permanent grins. And then, one by one, they leaned in, putting their mouths next to my ear, whispering something. But the audio was corrupted. All I could hear was a static hiss, and just before the footage cut out, I saw it. One of them turned toward the camera, smiled, and waved. That was 2 months ago. Since then, I've moved apartments, changed jobs, even saw a therapist. But the visits haven't stopped. In fact, they've gotten worse. Now I don't just see them at night. I hear them during the day, in the shower, in the elevator, in mirrors. They whisper things they shouldn't know. They tell me how I'll die, what I'll look like when I'm gone. And last night, they didn't wait for 3 a.m. They came at 10:43, earlier than ever before. I had just turned off the lights when I saw them already standing in my room, inches from my bed. And this time, there weren't 3. There were 4. The 4th one had my face. Final log. If you're hearing this, I'm probably gone. Not dead, just taken. They don't just watch anymore. They touch, they whisper, they pull, and when you scream, no one hears you, not even yourself. If you ever wake up and feel like you're not alone, don't turn over. Don't check your camera, because once you see them, they see you too.